Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Nikki with MontanaCrochetCreations.com. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. In today's tutorial, we're going to be making this super simple, really cute crochet hat. It's the perfect crochet hat for anyone that is a beginner. It's the perfect gift if you're in a pinch, especially right now trying to figure out a gift idea for somebody for Christmas. It's made with a number 6 super bulky yarn. It works up really, really quick. I used the Bernat Forever Fleece yarn in the color Snow White for this hat right here. But today we're going to be using that in the color Rose Hip, which is a really cute, really pretty dusty rose color. You're also going to need a few more things for your crochet hat. We're going to need 2 different size crochet hooks. We'll need a size L or an 8mm crochet hook. We're also going to need a K 10.5 or a 6.5mm crochet hook. You'll need a pair of craft scissors for clipping your yarn, and you'll need a yarn needle for weaving in your yarn tails, and we're also going to use a pom-pom maker. These pom-pom makers are perfect. This is a size medium. I think you can buy them in a pack of like small, medium, and large. I'm just going to use a medium on the one that we're making today. And that's it. So it's a super simple crochet hat to make. It'll work up very, very quickly. So go ahead and grab your supplies, and then I'll meet you back here in just a few minutes and we'll get started on this crochet hat. All right, so I've got my yarn here, and like I said, this color here is Rose Hip. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our 6.5mm crochet hook, and we are going to chain 7. So we're going to start with our slip stitch here and start our hook, and we're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now what we are going to do is, instead of doing a regular stitch, we are going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. So if you can see here, we've got our loop that's on our hook, and then we've got this chain right here. That's your first chain, and then the very next chain right here, we have our second chain. That's the chain we're going to slip stitch into. So we're going to insert our hook, and we're just going to slip stitch right through. And we're going to continue slip stitching all the way down to the very end of this chain 7. And at the very end of this chain 7, you will have 6 stitches. Alright, so we're coming up into our very last one. We're going to slip stitch into that. So we are now going to chain 1 and turn our work. And that chain 1 is not going to count as a stitch. So what we're going to do next is we're going to slip stitch in this back loop of the first slip stitch here. So we've got all of our stitches here, and you can see, if I put a needle through here, you can see there's these two loops. So you've got your front loop here and you've got your back loop. We're going to be slip stitching into this back loop. So let's grab our needle and our yarn, and let's slip stitch into that back loop. And we're going to slip stitch into the back loops all the way down to the very end. When we get to the very end of row 2, we're still going to have a total of 6 stitches. And we're going to repeat this pattern all the way until the band of our hat measures about 18 inches long. This hat is meant for a small female adult, so a head size that's right around 22 inches. But the style of this band is going to allow for this hat to really stretch. And as we get a little bit further into it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're at the end of round 2. We've got our 6 stitches. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. And we're just going to repeat that, doing 1 slip stitch in the back loop only of every single stitch all the way down to the very end. And we're going to repeat that until our hat band measures 18 inches. we have reached our brim, the very end of it, and my brim measures 18 inches long. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this end over here and we're going to fold them together. And you can see right here that there's these 2 stitches, and they meet up nicely together, and they just kind of, I guess, just kind of line up. So that's what we're going to work in. We're going to, so we've got to the end of our row, I've chained 1. I'm going to insert my hook into this very first stitch right here, and then I'm inserting my hook into the next stitch from the other end of the band. And what I'm going to do is just slip stitch through both of those hooks right there, or both of those stitches. And then I'm going to repeat that all the way down the end. And we should have about 6 of those stitches once we get to the very end here. So let's go ahead and finish out. We've got 2 more stitches left. So it might be a little tricky to get it in there. And then we've got 1 last stitch right here. We're going to slip stitch that. Now what we're doing is we're chaining 1, and you're going to pull your loop up a little bit, and we are going to switch from our 6.5 millimeter crochet hook to our 8 millimeter crochet hook. And I know this looks pretty small right now, but you can see it's a pretty stretchy band, so it's going to stretch to fit a head that's up to 22 inches around. So what we want to do is we want to go in and single crochet 1 stitch in between each one of these braids. So you can see by us single crocheting or slip stitching every time we chained 1 and turned, it's created this little braided pattern, which is really cute. A nice little ribbed edge. So we're going to single crochet in each one of those stitches and make sure that you crochet over this yarn tail right here. So let's insert our hook into that first stitch, and we're single crocheting over the top of that. Next, we're not going to single crochet in the top of this braid. We're going to single crochet in this space right here that's in between these 2 braids. So we're inserting our hook, we're yarning over and pulling our yarn through that little space that we just went in. Yarning over and pulling through both of those loops. And then we're going to repeat that all the way around. So now we're going to insert our hook again, and then single crochet in the next loop. So as we do that, we're just going to work our way all the way around this hat, and you should have a total of about 42 stitches whenever you get all the way back around to the very end over here. So I've come all the way back around right here in round 1, and I have slip stitched to the top of that very first single crochet. Now for round 2, we are going to just work in a continuous round, so we're not going to be chaining 1 or in turning our work. Instead, we are going to chain 1 but continue to work around in the same direction. But for round 2, we are switching from a single crochet to a half double crochet. So we're going to insert our hook in that chain 1 space right here. And so to do a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, pull your yarn through that loop that you just inserted your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops that's on your hook. And that's your half double crochet. So we're going to continue repeating, putting 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around the top of this crochet hat. When we get back to the end of round 2, you should still have a total of 42 stitches. I'm at the end of round 2, so we're going to slip stitch to the top of that very first half double crochet. And for round 3, we're going to repeat. We're just going to put 1 half double crochet in that chain chain 1 space, and then we're going to put 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. And we're going to repeat that until our hat from the bottom of the brim to the top portion is 7 inches long. Once it's 7 inches long, then we'll start our decrease. So go ahead and continue repeating this pattern of placing 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and then I'll meet you back whenever my hat is 7 inches tall. So I'm at the end, and my project here, my crochet hat, is approximately 7 inches tall. So now what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1, and we're going to start our decrease rows. So we are going to half double crochet these first 2 stitches right here together. So since this chain 1 doesn't count, we are going to half double crochet in that chain 1 space. So we're going to insert our hook and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We are going to now yarn over and insert our hook into that very next stitch. And then we're going to pull our yarn through. Now we have 5 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. That right there just crocheted these 2 stitches together. So when you look at the top now, you only have 1 stitch. What we're going to do next is half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to half double crochet 2 stitches together, and then we're going to repeat that all the way around. Half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then half double crochet 2 stitches together. And you want to make sure that you're keeping these fairly tight. So now we're going to half double crochet in 2 stitches, and then half double crochet 2 stitches together. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around. It's a repeat pattern of half double crochet 2 stitches together, half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then half double crochet 2 stitches together again. So we're at the end of that round, and that was actually round 9. So for me, from the base of my brim of my hat up until it was 7 inches, I had about 8 rounds. So this decrease round that we just did, I'm going to say is round 9. Yours is going to depend on your gauge and everything like that, how tightly and how loosely you crochet your stitches. So for this next round, so we're going to say round 10. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to basically do the same thing. We're going to single crochet these first 2 stitches together, and then we're going to half double crochet those first 2 stitches together, and then we're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then we'll half double crochet these next 2 stitches together, and then place 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around of doing half double crochet the 2 stitches together, and then 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then I will meet you back here when you're done with round 10. Alright, so we're coming up at the very end of round 10, and we're going to half double crochet these last 2 stitches together. So now we are going to slip stitch to that top half double crochet. So as you can see, it's kind of starting to draw in and round itself a little bit. So for round 11, we're chaining 1, and what we're going to do is we're going to half double crochet 2 stitches together all the way around. And you want to keep these stitches nice and tight. So we're going to insert our hook into that chain 1 space. Oops. And then we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. We're going to half double crochet those 2 stitches together. Now we're going to half double crochet the next 2 stitches together. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around until we get back to the very beginning of round 11. last 2 stitches here. Actually, no, we've got a few more, sorry. So now we've come to the very end and we're just going to slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to fasten off our yarn, but we're going to leave a good size yarn tail. So we'll leave about 6 inches or so. And just clip that off. And let's fasten off our yarn and I'll show you why. So we're going to take our yarn needle here. We're just going to thread that through. And we're going to go along the top here. See, we still have this opening right here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go along the top. And we're going to go into each one of these little openings in between those half double crochet. And we're just going to thread our needle through and then pull it nice and tight. And we're going to thread it through again, over through like the next 4 stitches or so, and pull it nice and tight. And as you can see, it's starting to close up that little top circle there. We're going to pull it through these 2 little loops here, and then we've got one last little section of loops that we're going to pull it through. And now the top of our hat is closed. So what I like to do is kind of stick my needle in through the other side of the hat. So let's turn it inside out right here. I know it's going to be kind of hard to see, but I draw my needle through, and then I like to go in and weave my yarn tails in through the bottom of the hat. And again, it's the same rule of thumb. You want to make sure you weave back and forth at least 3 times, so that way your yarn tail doesn't come undone in the washing machine. Okay, and let's go. We're gonna create a little knot here, and then I'm going to weave it through one more time. Now we can clip our yarn end, and you can either leave the hat just like this, or you can make a pom-pom for it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a pom-pom. So go ahead and grab your pom-pom maker, and then I'll meet you right back. All right, so I have my pom-pom maker, and what I have right here, I just have the medium one. This is by Clover. I absolutely love this pom-pom maker. I use it for all the pom-poms on my hats. I just feel like it does a really nice, consistent pom-pom. So we're going to open it up here on the ends. You can see it kind of folds in together just like that, and it's got these 2 little loops. We're going to open both of those on each end, and then we're going to take our yarn and we're going to hold on to that, still trying to keep these 2 plastic pieces right here nice and even. And we're just going to wrap our yarn around enough times to kind of secure that little piece of yarn that we were holding on to. Then we're going to go around this U shape here of our pom-pom maker, and we're going to start creating this pom-pom. Alright, so what we've done is I've looped my yarn around my first little portion of the pom-pom maker right here till it's pretty even. So we're going to fold this in. I'm going to go one more time because you want your yarn end to be pretty close to when you fold it into this other piece. So we're going to fold that over, and then I'm going to take my yarn, let's get some more out here. Take my yarn, and I'm going to go across through these 2 little pieces right here, and I'm just going to start looping and wrapping around this other U shape right here. It's a little hard to see on camera, but it's actually really, really simple to use. I'm going to flip it around. And so we're just going to repeat on this side exactly what we did on the last side. Alright, so we've got that there. So we're just going to fold this one over. And I just go and I just kind of clip my yarn right there. It's not going to matter where it's at. And I'm going to take a piece that's about 12 inches and I'm going to clip that off. We're going to need that here in just a few minutes. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to take our scissors, and you can see these two little lines right here. Your scissors are meant to fit into there. So I like to just hold onto the top of the pom-pom maker so that way it's nice and secure, and I just start snipping, clipping my yarn. And you can see it's got these two ridges in here right there. That's meant for your scissors to follow along, and that way you get the same length of pom-poms fronds on each side of the pom-pom maker. Okay, so then I've done that first half and it came through, and my scissors are small enough to where they can fit right through there. So now what I'm going to do is come through and just start clipping this other side. Still just allowing my scissors to stay in that little groove there. And I'm just going to snip it all the way around back to that side right there. So now we've got, make sure it's nice and secure in there. We've got these two little pieces on here and we've got this groove. Now if we were to take this apart now, all these little pieces would just fly off and then fall apart. So we're going to take and put our piece of yarn right in the middle there. And we're just going to tie a knot nice and tight. And you can see it went into that groove right there. And I like to tie one more knot so that way it's nice and secure. Now, since we have that and it's nice and secure, we can just pop this end open right here. And we can come over here and pop this end open. And so now you can see it's starting to create our little pom-pom. And these two little plastic pieces right here just come apart. And now we've got our cute little pom-pom for the top of our hat. So go ahead and kind of floof it around. If you need to clip any little pieces, then go ahead and clip those, and then I will meet you right back and show you how to attach this pom-pom to your hat. All right, so I have my hat and I have my pom-pom. I'm going to show you a really simple way of attaching this. So I'm going to use my 6.5mm crochet hook, and I'm just going to go from the underneath side of the hat, and I'm going to insert my hook into one of those spaces right there. And I'm just going to pull my yarn through. And I'm going to go to the other side and grab that piece of yarn tail from the pom-pom and just pull it through. So now we can, let me find it, we can look inside of our hat and we see we've got these two pieces right here. So we're just going to take and tie a knot for those. We're just going to knot it twice, and then we're just going to take our yarn needle and weave in our yarn ends. So go ahead and weave your yarn ends into your hat. Remember to go back 3 different times, and then I'll meet you back here in just a few minutes. So I've attached my pom-pom and just kind of went around and just like fluffed it up and made sure that it looked the way that I wanted it to. And that's it. Now you've got this really cute, super chunky, nice and warm crochet hat that actually would be a perfect gift for anyone any time of the year, whether it be Christmas, Thanksgiving, whether it be for a birthday, anything at all like that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed making this pattern as much as I did. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share my page. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more of these fun tutorials. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I love you all so very much, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.